Street Live in association with
We have fun time. Fun all the time.
Agenda Ambrose mbeera wakatoke guno mulimu ngumazemu emyaka ng'etaano kale nasooka nga muzibuzibu nga sente ntonotono naye kati nnaku zino ngenda kati sente nzifunafunamu era nkozemu ku buntuntu bwange bujjaawo kuba omulimu guno si muzibu nnyo kubanga tokuteekamu nnyo kapita eryawo kyekintu kiri ku mulimu guno olunaku we lugaana nkola omutwalo naye nga lwalamye mbeeramu ebiri kitundu awo.
We have fun time. Fun all the time.
And the change of government won't stop a thing. I've run out of fingers counting the number of multinationals setting up here. What about the 3 companies that announced their plans to launch last week? I say they're shortly. Me, I'd be looking to sell. At what price? More. Much, much more. I don't know who you are or how you know these things, but one thing I'm sure of, you're in the wrong job. Here, call me tomorrow at 9 o'clock in the morning. I'd like to hear more from you.
Are you ready for your big break? The East African, understanding the region.
NTV, turning on your world.
Hello and good afternoon. We thank you ever so much for watching NTV, and my name is Malcolm Sime. We have the news at 1, but let's first have a look at the headlines right now. The principal judge swears in members of the tribunal to hear the petition to impeach Arias Lukwago as KCCA mayor. And the police in Kasese arrest over 70 suspected criminals in a crackdown. Also coming up this afternoon, South African President Nelson Mandela remains hospitalized for a 3rd day. You're watching NTV at 1. Once again, you're welcome to NTV at 1 Monday afternoon, and police in Kasese have arrested over 70 suspected criminals in an operation mounted by the police and army in Kasese Municipal Council.
The police night operation targeted Nyamwamba division of Kasese municipality, an area known for its high crime rates. Kasese District Police Commander Musoni Sebula says the operation will continue until security in the district improves.
So that's why we have come in to handle this situation at this particular moment, saying that we reduce all this kind of crime in the district.
Over 30 suspect criminals with alleged involvement in murder, theft of motorcycles and cattle across the district have been arrested, and 5 guns were also recovered.
And these are the guns which have been it has been used by these criminals. The latest was the one which we recovered in Nyakasanga.
Many of the victims of these violent crimes are traders who were robbed by gangs. Sabila also dismissed any link between the crimes and rebels of Allied Democratic Force suspected to be regrouping in Eastern Congo. Chimuli Ivan Chigozi, NTV at 1.
Now, you've probably heard of pre-inspection before goods are brought in from their country of origin, and traders here have been having issues with that. But today, traders in Kampala are threatening to suspend any importation of goods over the pre-shipment fees on imported goods into the country. And under their umbrella group, Kampala City Traders Association, or otherwise known as KASITA, the traders fault the recently implemented pre-export verification of conformity to product standards program.
The agreements which we saw, we managed to establish that the person who is supposed to pay for this program is the exporter. But when our members go for this program for inspection, they are actually asked to pay, and yet they are the importers. So we wanted to clear this air, and that please, as long as the program is focusing at the exporter paying, why should they make the importer to pay for this program? Number two is why base the payment on FOB? Because that means you are discouraging those who are bringing quality products on the market. If I'm paying more for bringing quality goods, which quality goods are more expensive, that means you are discouraging me from bringing quality goods on the market. You are, in other words, encouraging me to bring substandard products.
Every 2 seconds, a woman dies from cervical cancer, and according to the World Health Organization, out 300,000 deaths are recorded globally. Inequality has been pointed out as one of the leading causes for the rise. And in Health Focus this week here on NTV, Florence Narimba tells you why this cancer is on the rise.
Health Focus is brought to you by Uganda National Health Consumers Organization and Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids in support of tobacco control.
The figures for cervical cancer are startling. In a global meeting on cervical cancer prevention in Malaysia, experts did not mince words.
Almost 300,000 women die every year. This total could double by 2030.
90% of the cervical cancer deaths occur in developing countries.
Every year, 530,000 cases of cervical cancer among women, and of which 134,000 to be precise are in my country, India.
For particular countries, the statistics are alarming with each passing year. According to the Global Cervical Cancer Crisis card by the Guttmacher Institute, Africa is the worst place to be a woman with cervical cancer. Top 10 out of 50 countries with highest mortality or death rates are in the continent. Uganda takes number 4, losing 34 women per every 100,000 to a rather highly preventable disease. The crisis card looks at the inequalities amongst regions as something that could be increasing the disease as well as the deaths.
If you're a girl growing up in my hometown of New York City, where cervical cancer rates are very low, you will get access to an HPV vaccine. If you're a girl growing up in a country in Africa or in Asia or Latin America, you are most likely not to get access, where rates are the highest.
At the Global Forum on Cervical Cancer Prevention, experts said they want the history of the disease changed.
Every girl in the world should have access to HPV vaccines. Every woman should have access to screening and treatment when appropriate.
Faith Buckley from the Gavi Alliance gives hope to many girls and women in low-income countries. Inexpensive HPV vaccines.
The challenge is how do we get vaccines to the places that need it the most? And we've heard a lot of statistics, but let's remind everybody that there's 3 issues going on in these countries. So you have a higher incidence of HPV infection, you have late screening, and you have worst outcome. So they have a triple whammy.
The vaccine, as high as $13 a dose, has now been reduced to less than $5 in 73 Gavi countries. That is from 33,000 shillings to about 11,000 shillings. Kenya is the first country to start piloting under Gavi funds. Rwanda has rolled out the vaccine nationally, and Uganda, with help from the Gardasil vaccine maker Merck, will cover 140,000 girls until a national rollout on the Gavi-funded vaccines in 2014.
We expect that by 2020, 30 million girls will be immunized in over 40 countries.
All this is to be enforced with good polygist doubts.
There are a lot of myths that are still going on amongst policymakers, and I think, even as we started talking about cancer of the cervix in Zambia, many people questioned why I was calling for investment in cervical cancer when people were dying from malaria, when people were dying from HIV.
Jill Sheffield, the founder of Women Deliver, an organization concerned with improving the health and well-being of girls and women, is worried that this is where a mistake has been made for long. Each country owes its woman a healthy life. That is something that the Malaysian government is taking seriously, and other health experts are saying that other countries should borrow a leaf from Malaysia.
For us in Uganda, we should really say sorry to ourselves, because Malaysia, we are told that 40 years ago, was exactly the same with us.
Malaysia has been offering for free cervical cancer, the HPV vaccine, to any young girl who wants to have it. Imagine.
Over 95% of eligible girls have received all 3 doses of the vaccine. We have started a catch-up campaign to provide the HPV vaccine to college-going women. All of our girls and young women deserve the chance to have a future free of cervical cancer.
The older women have also not been forgotten in this fight.
The PAP 3 to all women between the ages of 20 and 65 once every 3 years.
Uganda, like many low-income countries, faces challenges such as human resource, health workers who can't tell whether a woman has cervical cancer, and women who never go to health facilities. Experts say the disease needs to be confronted with vigor.
We need to have focal desks in the Ministry of Health that is strongly working on cancer of the cervix in the country. And we need to divide that program into that. Desk officer should be very cognizant of prevention and treatment.
Survivor Genevieve Sambi, a Malaysian model, speaks of her experience.
If I can get through it, then there are other ladies out there who can get through it.
Global Health Strategies also wants to fight inaccurate information, which brings out negativity about the vaccines.
They cover about 70 to 80% of the strains that cause cancer. Few or no one can argue about the safety.
David Gold, the principal of Global Health Strategies, is convinced that this woman killer will almost get eliminated.
The question is not if, the question is when.
Florence Nalimba, NTV.
Tobacco kills. Say no, save lives. This message is brought to you by Uganda National Health Consumers Organization and Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids in support of tobacco control.
Thank you, Florence. That's another reason for us to think twice about cervical cancer that attacks the cancer of the cervix. That's the lower narrow part of the uterus. And moving on now, a team to hear an impeachment petition against the KCCA Mayor Erias Lukwago has been sworn in. The principal judge, Yorkam Bamwine, who's also presided over the function, asked the tribunal to be impartial.
The three-man team is headed by anti-corruption court judge Catherine Bamugemeire.
I will faithfully, fully, impartially, and to the best of my ability discharge the trust and perform the duties devolving upon me by virtue of appointment to the tribunal. So help me God.
The other members are Alfred Okello Oriem, an expert in public service and civil litigation, and Ochaya Lakidi, a retired civil servant and former secretary to the judiciary.
Do swear that I will faithfully, fully, impartially, and to the best of my ability discharge the trust and perform the duties devolving upon me by virtue of appointment to the tribunal. So help me God.
Swear that I will not directly or indirectly communicate or reveal any matter to any person which shall be brought under my consideration or shall come to my knowledge in the discharge of my official duties, except as may be required for the discharge of official duties, or as may be specially permitted by the Commission.
In his counsel to the new team, the principal judge cautioned the members to act in accordance with the law and also to listen to both parties as they present their complaints.
You will follow the rules of natural justice. And these are the ones I've just outlined. The duty to act fairly, in good faith, without bias, in a judicial manner, in a judicial way. And not to be a judge in your own cause, and to make sure that each party is given opportunity to examine, cross-examine, and re-examine, so that by the time you get to the root of the matter, justice has been done.
However, the mayor, Erias Lukwago, has already filed a petition seeking a permanent injunction against the tribunal. In a petition at the Constitutional Court on Friday, Lukwago said the minister did not accord him the right to be heard, which is in contravention of the Constitution.
I'm not aware of any petition that stops us from administering the oath. In any case, administering the oath is a routine procedure. You can't stop a person from taking an oath. So as far as we are concerned, all is on course.
The tribunal will determine whether the contents of the petition hold sufficient grounds for the removal of the Lord Mayor from office. Last month, 17 city councillors petitioned the minister seeking to impeach him on allegations of incompetence, failure to convene authority meetings, among others. The tribunal is expected to complete its work in 2 months.
Thank you, Sohail. We're now going to take a look at how the money markets are faring today. Welcome back. We're now going to take a short break, but when we come back, we'll be bringing you news of former South African President Nelson Mandela in hospital now for another time, and also your latest sports.
Bottle of Sprite. Hear this. Never lose sight of who you are. A lemon lime beverage that makes the thirsty people less thirsty. You too, bottle of Sprite, a vending machine, and for display purposes only Sprite? Wow. You may be forgotten, jogged under pressure, or live big time. And you, wrong place, wrong time Sprite, locker room Sprite, gold Sprite. And you, and you, and you, you. Did-a-pop, de-pop, de-pop-pop, de-la-lop, de-lop, de-da-pop. You're a bottle-shaped bottle. No matter where you end up, you're a thirst quencher. Oh, delicious. It's your moment. Good job, bottle of Sprite. Good job.
Welcome back from the break. This is NTV at 1. Now, over 2,500 residents in Ntusi sub-county in Sembawale district have refused to leave their village after an eviction last Friday. And residents there from 4 villages claim they have a caveat over the land under dispute.
If the residents get kicked off a land that has become home over the years, it is unimaginable whether these children in an already dilapidated school will find anything better anytime soon. This man came on this land in 1997 and found it under the ownership of Uganda Investment Authority. In 2007, the authority gave them a chance to buy the land. The alleged buyer is their local council chairman who sold it to the current landowner, Karen Kayunga, a sister-in-law to the presidential advisor on defense, Salim Saleh.
Last month, Karen Kayunga led 150 heads of cattle. People resisted it, but police, under the instructions of the Inspector General of Police, used tear gas, fired live bullets and dispersed people and forced Karen Kayonga to settle on the land.
Last week, the IGP General Kale Kaihura intervened to quell tensions in the area.
If at all the Inspector General of Police was misled, it's time for him to correct that impression.
Remiaga County MP Theodore Sechkubu insists those evicted will not leave.
We met in the Ministry boardroom, Ministry of Lands, and it was resolved that this land was irregularly disposed of. And therefore, the Investment Authority should sit down together with a bench and refund and allow people to be given the first